Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akil Ikmal bin Muhammad Jalil from class J4 EC1104H1, and in this video, I will be presenting my individual assignment on the topic Personal Protective Equipment (PPE) for the course ECM367 Project and Construction Management. Introduction. Personal Protective Equipment, or PPE, is the type of attire worn by construction workers to protect themselves from the construction menaces and remain physically healthy. PPE will only become necessary when other significant alternatives such as elimination, substitution, isolation, and administrative control have been assessed by the project managers to safeguard their employees from dangerous unwanted incidents. When ordered by the site safety officer, trained laborers are required to wear task-appropriate and well-fitted PPE to circumvent fatal injuries. PPE selecting factors. Firstly, PPE are CE marked to ensure that the product comply with the Personal Protective Equipment Regulations 2002 and consistent with its Declaration of Performance (DOP) as made by the manufacturer. Next, tailored for each individual to ensure correct size, fitting, and weight to guarantee safety and comfort. Different types of PPE can be worn simultaneously to utilize the safety aspect to the fullest. Last but not least, users are congruously trained and informed on the utilization, limitation, and inducement on why PPE is needed for the particular job. Identifying fake PPE. Firstly, the PPE markings are unclear and illegible. Next, the PPE has irregular color throughout the equipment. Grammatical errors in information leaflet, and it does not list out the manufacturer's contact details. Products are flimsy and easily worn out after few usage. 10 common types of PPE. For the head protection, there are two most common types of PPE that are worn by construction site workers. Firstly, hard hat. Hard hat protect workers from head injuries by absorbing vertical impact of falling and flying objects. The risk exposure level after wearing a hard hat is considered as low. Bump caps are equipped with LED lights to resist low impact that can cause superficial injuries and enhance visibility in low light area. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing a bump cap is considered to be high because bump caps are originally invented to enhance visibility in low light area instead of protecting workers from head injuries. Face protection. Safety glasses protect eyes from horizontal impact of flying objects and chemical splashes. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing safety glasses are still considered to be high because safety glasses did not fully protect the area surrounding the eyes. Therefore, chemical splashes still can contact the eye by going around the safety glass. Meanwhile, safety goggles fully protect the area surrounding the eyes from potential health risks such as dust particles, bright light, flying objects, chemical splashes, and corrosive liquid. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing safety goggles is considerably low. Ear protection. Earplugs are inserted in the ear canal to reduce the noise level to lessen the consequences when exposed to noise higher than 80 decibels. The risk exposure level of the wearer is still considered to be high because Earplugs must not fully close the ear canal to allow for better communication among workers in the construction site. Meanwhile, earmuffs are placed over the ears to reduce the risk of long-term ear damage by reducing around 5 to 10 decibels of noise level, and it is fitted with communication devices. Therefore, the risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing earmuffs are lower than earplug. Respiratory protection. Disposable respirators covers the wearer's nose and mouth to protect against coarse-grained particles such as dust, powders, and mist. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing disposable respirators are still considered to be high. This is because the coarse-grained particles such as dust still can enter the wearer's respiratory system by going around the respirator. Meanwhile, powered respirators filters out the air that enters the wearer's lung to sustain physical health and work performance with the same mobility as the disposable respirators. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing powered respirator is low. Leg protection. Safety shoes have higher workability and safety aspects, including steel midsole to protect from puncture and penetration wounds from stepping on pointy objects. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing safety shoes is low. Rigger boots are suitable to be worn when working with asbestos or cement to avoid penetration of mixture into the feet. The risk exposure level of the wearer after wearing rigger boots are low. Hazardous environment in construction site. Mixing cement. Cement powders are lightweight and can be inhaled if the respiratory system of the worker is not protected. Cement mixtures are semi-liquid compounds that can penetrate normal clothing and harden within the clothes. Although the exposure risk levels are considerably low, workers are highly suggested to wear suitable PPE to avoid any unfortunate incidents and long-term impacts. Therefore, workers who are responsible to do cement mix are recommended to wear a respiratory protection, such as disposable respirators, to prevent themselves from inhaling cement powder particles when mixing cement. Not only that, they are also suggested to wear leg protections, such as rigger boots, to protect their feet from cement mix. Woodwork. Some construction sites that uses wood as the main construction materials will create hazardous risk, such as feet getting penetrated by nails and screws, inhale wood dust when cutting woods, and wood pieces or nails flew off when being sawed or hammered. This hazardous environment is generally rated as low compared to the risk at bigger construction sites. However, workers are advised to wear suitable PPE to protect themselves from these hazards. For example, face protection such as safety glasses can be worn to protect the eyes from flying objects when cutting woods. Leg protection, like safety boots, can be worn to prevent nails and screws from penetrating into the feet. And respiratory protection such as disposable respirators are advocated to be worn to avoid long-term respiratory system problems. High-rise building construction site. Workers who are working at the lower ground of a high-rise building construction site are exposed to high risk of falling objects, which may include lightweight objects such as nails and heavy objects such as bricks. Therefore, construction site employees are required to wear head protection PPE such as safety helmet or hard hat to protect their head from vertical impact of falling or flying objects that may cause serious injuries or even death. Conclusion. In a nutshell, Construction site workers are listed as one of the most dangerous occupations, as the workers are exposed to a high risk level of injuries and death. Numerous construction laborers worldwide have died while working at the construction site. This is a major concern to everyone, especially the management team of the construction company. Therefore, every construction site employees should always wear suitable personal protective equipment according to the hazards and exposure risk level to prevent unwanted incidents from occurring. That's all from me. Thank you.